Let's make sure we have a good handle on all the scattergram stuff. So the following graph shows the relationship between the number of children per woman in a country and that country's average life expectancy in 1962. So here's how many women you can expect to have per, or how many children you can expect to have per woman, right? And how long the children should live. Okay, what was the predictor variable? Predictor variable, remember, is another word for explanatory variable, which is the fertility rate in births per woman. Okay, what is the response variable? That would be life expectancy, how long your baby should expect to live in years. That would be the unit. The Middle Eastern country of Yemen had a birth rate of 8.37 and a life expectancy of 35 in 1962. Circle Yemen on the graph. All right. 8.3735. That's got to be this guy right here. There we go. Awesome. There's Yemen. Yemen had the most births per woman and not a very great life expectancy. In 1962, you could only expect to live to the age of 35 in Yemen. What does this graph reveal about the world in 1962? A couple things. First of all, in general, I don't need this underlined, in general, the more births per woman, how is this? The higher the fertility rate, the lower the life expectancy in 1962. In other words, countries where women have lots of children, had lots of children, tended to be, or tended to have people not live very long. And you can sort of see that in 1962, there were two main groups of countries. Those on the left that had small, let me put it this way, small families, right? Not a lot of births per woman over here. See this group right there, that clump? Small families, high life expectancy. And those on the right, there's a clump over here, kind of right here. See that clump right there? That had large families and low life expectancy. And this is where, and in this year, by the way, this is the year first world and third world. Those two phrases were coined. And you can see why. Because in 1962, it made a lot of sense. There really was a first world and a third world. Here's the first world over here on the left, right there. European countries, the US, Canada, right? High life expectancy, low fertility rate. And there's the third world over here in this clump. And then the second world was actually usually the Soviet bloc, which are kind of in the middle. Okay. Do you think the world is still this way? You can check your intuition at Gapminder and play around with it. Actually, I just changed the link so that you can get to it real quickly by just clicking on tinyurl.com/fertility-life. And it's right here. And you can see that the year we're looking at is not 1950, right? So we want to change this to 1962. Oops. There you go. Oop. That little pointer thing can sometimes be a little fussy. There it is, 1962. And you can see, here's the first world clump. There's the third world clump. See it? And then you got the middle kind of floating around. All right, so is the world still this way? Well, let's press play and see what happens. So it's going to work its way through time. You can see the little indicator moving its way down. And then look what happened. This is 2010, right? Most of the countries that used to be the third world are now right up with us, right, in the first world. Only these countries over here still form a clump. And that's what I just typed here. Most of the former third world countries are now right up with the first world, quote unquote.